Today we will be looking at Luigi's Mansion 3 on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, wow, Zowie.
Nintendo has a knack of withholding their franchises, sometimes to a maddening degree, and Luigi's Mansion is part of that list, with fans being no stranger to waiting many years to see a new game, as this is only the third time Luigi has held the spotlight in the charming Mansion games. Back in 2001, Luigi's Mansion headlined the brand new GameCube console, and for the first time Nintendo launched a console without a Mario game alongside it. From there, it took over 11 years to get a sequel in the arrival of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon in 2013 on the 3DS. And although an enjoyable sequel, I didn't get hooked, and to this date, the game, which is part of my collection, has yet to be completed. Fast forward nearly 7 years later and we have the third Luigi's Mansion game. And whatever it was that failed to hook me in Dark Moon seems to be a non-factor in Luigi's Mansion 3, as I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with the game. I can fondly remember my time with Luigi's Mansion on GameCube. As I only had one other game for my new console as I waited for Smash to arrive a few weeks later, I rented Luigi's Mansion from Blockbuster, and back then, without a full-time job, I remember that I beat the game twice in the 3-day rental. So going into Luigi's Mansion 3, my expectation on completion was similar, and I soon realized how misguided that was. Luigi's Mansion does start out a bit slow, as you wake up and find out that the hotel you're vacationing in is not what it seems. Your travel companions are kidnapped, and as Luigi is the only one who is able to evade capture, you commence your journey to save everyone. Immediately, I instinctively felt there should be a dedicated run button, as is customary in Mario games, but I quickly forgot about trying to run as navigating the clunky controls took my attention. But eventually the learning curve was behind me, and not being able to run, and the controls, were no longer a concern. The main addition to the game is the inclusion of Luigi, who is a second playable character that can be played either by yourself or alongside someone locally. Luigi is a liquid clone of Luigi that can perform all the same actions as Luigi, but has the additional abilities of walking through gates, slipping through pipes, which give an additional layer of complexity to puzzles throughout the mansion. Additionally, there is a multiplayer element to the game, with 3 game modes that you can play locally. I enjoyed the Ghost Hunt and Cannon Barrage games, but coin floating was quite forgettable. The main draw for these games is that you can play with up to 8 players locally, which is unfortunately something I will likely never try. Luigi's Mansion 3 is an enjoyable addition to the Luigi's Mansion series. And one of the things I appreciate the most is the lack of backtracking. Since I got access to Luigi, I have not received any further upgrades, which at points feels weird because progress is usually tied to upgrading your arsenal. Instead, after each boss battle, you just gain access to a new floor of the hotel, and because each floor has a different theme, things continue to feel fresh. And to my pleasant surprise, this results in a very limited amount of backtracking through the hotel. The Switch is home to great single-player experiences, and Luigi's Mansion 3 can be added to that list, which I was not expecting. The puzzles are challenging, and the game is lengthier than I anticipated, which was one of the main concerns I had going in. If you're looking for an enjoyable single-player experience, Luigi's Mansion 3 will scratch that itch. But if you're like me, and like puzzles and Ghostbusters, you cannot go wrong. Thank you for taking the time to watch my review. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like down below, and if you'd like to be notified of new content, subscribe to Sirlink Gaming.